Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmama, he's going to prison.
I said a while ago when T.I.'s son King was getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat in the media, that to me he just looked like a young kid that wanted to prove to his father that he was a man too.
So King Harris's legal troubles recently took a sharp turn for the worse after Tiny served T.I. with divorce papers. Why? She couldn't stand the fact that T.I. disowned King after his recent arrest. The shocking part is, T.I. isn't even fighting the divorce or trying to make things right. Now the whole situation has gotten so messy that everyone in the family is pointing fingers. The tension is tearing them apart, and people are asking who's really to blame. King's parents, who gave him everything, or King himself, who threw it all away just to chase a gangster lifestyle. Tiny and T.I. splitting up might seem like a surprise to many. After all, they've been together for decades and survived just about everything together. But the truth is, there had always been cracks in their marriage. The breaking point came in October 2024, right after King's reckless arrest pushed the whole family into the spotlight. King had been pulling out of a gas station in his BMW, driving recklessly as usual, when he nearly hit a police car. The timing couldn't have been worse, because what the cops discovered after pulling him over made everything 10 times worse. As the officers approached the car, they immediately smelled weed. Then they spotted a gun tucked into his waistband. At that point, things already looked bad for King. They confiscated the gun and cuffed him. But when they ran his name, that's when it really blew up. An outstanding warrant from 2022 popped up, tied to speeding, driving on a suspended license, and a DUI. All bad news.
All right, I need you to step out the vehicle.
What you want to do? You want to take my gun home?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well? All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You gotta take.
There's no safety.
Take
okay. Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. Dude, step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest. I'm gonna be at the church. All right, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't sure this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
He could have slipped away that day if he had just played it cool. But instead, all his past mistakes came crashing down. The moment the arrest footage leaked online, the internet tore him apart. What was clear from that video was that King finally realized he had crossed the line. He wasn't lashing out in the 30-minute clip, but you could see the regret in his eyes. It was like he knew the only way to make things better was to cooperate. And for someone like King, that probably took a lot of restraint. We've all seen how he acts in public. But this video showed the complete opposite of the King we see on social media. Even the arresting officer was impressed by how calm he stayed through it all. But that didn't help his case. He still ended up in DeKalb County Jail before being moved to Pickens County after the warrant was recalled. Once the video went viral, fans didn't hold back. One person called him a trust fund prison punk, a comment that racked up likes because of how funny people thought it was. Another blasted him, saying he acts like his parents' money can save him, yet pretends he comes from nothing. But here's the thing, King wasn't the only one paying the price. The fallout didn't just hit him. It tore right through his parents' marriage, turning those cracks we mentioned earlier into a full-blown collapse. T.I. tried to act like the heartbroken dad, but Tiny was furious, and she had receipts. In her divorce filings, she directly listed King's downward spiral as the reason she was done. Surprisingly, T.I. didn't fight back or even try to fix things. As far as he was concerned, he had done his duty as a father, and King had only himself to blame. As harsh as that sounds, it was true. Back in 2022, when King first started going viral, T.I. went online and begged him to slow down. He warned that King was headed down a dangerous path and, if he wasn't careful, jail was inevitable. T.I. even admitted he had told Tiny and King's grandmother the same thing. They needed to keep an eye on him before he threw his life away. And T.I. wasn't just saying that as a parent. He was speaking as someone who had been to jail himself, knew the cost, and didn't want to see another young man fall into the same trap.
Hit me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his ass going to prison. If you got to keep this up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Cause I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
However, Tiny wasn't buying it. In fact, it only gave her more ammunition in the divorce. She claimed T.I. had failed as a father, and that if he had been more present and firm with King, their son wouldn't have strayed so far from the right path, and she's not entirely wrong. T.I. was in and out of prison from the time Tiny first discovered she was pregnant with King. By the time he was finally released for good, King was already used to growing up without a father figure. Even when T.I. was home, his presence didn't make much of a difference. Allegedly, he shipped King off to live with his grandmother. King himself once revealed that even though his parents were wealthy, he didn't grow up with much money because he lived with his grandma. In fact, he claimed the only times he was allowed to visit his parents' house were when they were filming their reality TV show. With a home environment like that, it's no surprise King started looking for distractions elsewhere, and with every reckless stunt he pulled, he drew closer to a future behind bars. One moment that showed just how bad things had gotten was King's infamous Waffle House meltdown in 2022. It all started when a worker accidentally added pickles to his order. That small mistake was enough to send King into a screaming match with the employee. He even recorded the entire ugly altercation and posted it on social media. But instead of making him look tough, the video made him look like a spoiled brat. And it sparked heavy criticism of T.I. for letting King run wild.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File show. Come back. What? On game what? Okay, what? Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here.
So, when T.I. made that video warning King, it only made Tiny furious. She felt he should have done all that warning and guiding years ago, but he didn't. Things seemed to cool down between them for a while, but T.I. couldn't hide his disappointment in King for long. Eventually, it all boiled over during an Atlanta Falcons game, where a heated argument between father and son quickly turned physical. It started after King made comments about not growing up with privilege, which set T.I. off. He immediately stepped in to correct him, reminding King that he had literally been raised with a silver spoon. But King wasn't having it, and the next thing you know, he was throwing hands at his own father. From the clip, you can see just how intense the fight was. It looked as if T.I. was ready to forget this was his own son and actually beat the lights out of him.
To make him look better, he said he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Sid used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every day.
I know you.
Shut up.
Ain't no mystery about here.
I know you though.
Man,
I know
get
you
your
though.
man.
I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business.
The clip racked up thousands of likes within hours of hitting the internet, with many people praising T.I. for finally disciplining King. Comments poured in. He should have busted his behind. That's an overdue library book. When you don't check the problem, it eventually turns on you. Others wrote that King had been out of control and asked people to pray for the family. But Tiny wasn't happy about the fight. She hated that T.I. humiliated King like that. And to make things worse, when she got home, she discovered that T.I. had kicked King out of the house, telling him to figure out how to survive on his own. To Tiny, that was taking things too far, and the fallout caused a major crack in their relationship, one that ultimately pushed her to cut T.I. off. In her divorce papers, Tiny listed more than just King's issues. She brought up T.I.'s constant cheating and violent past. For years, she had watched him step out on their marriage, only to spin it as if he was changing, but the lies stacked up. So by the time King spiraled into his own mess, Tiny wasn't just mad at King. She was staring at the man who raised him and realizing the cycle had never been broken. That's why she finally cut T.I. off. The part that truly broke Tiny was realizing King wasn't carving his own path. He was copying T.I.'s. The same jail stints that once gave T.I. his tough guy reputation had become the exact blueprint King was now crashing into. So when T.I. disowned King after his arrest, Tiny snapped. To her, he wasn't disowning King. He was disowning his own reflection. That's why those divorce papers hit the table. And you can tell how desperate King is for his father's approval by the way he's always flashing guns. In fact, after that arrest footage went viral, some commenters claimed King deliberately walked into the situation just to score jail time and solidify his street cred. Others said he had finally proven himself as rugged and earned the title he'd been chasing for years. Many even believed King pulled these stunts just to get attention and respect from his father. And it seemed like those antics worked. Remember when T.I. and Boozy had to check their sons on camera? King and Boozy's son, Tootie Raw, were shooting a music video. But instead of focusing on the music, they were more interested in flashing guns like they were in a trap house. That's when the dad stepped in. You could hear the disappointment in T.I.'s voice as he confronted King, asking why he was so focused on acting tough when there were girls around. It turned into a full-on lecture. T.I. made it clear that one wrong move with those guns, or getting caught with anything illegal, was all it would take to ruin their lives. He and Boozy weren't joking around, and you can see just how serious they were in that moment.
So those motherfucking 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand. I've been seeing him around too here a lot. You gonna raise your own hand? I've been seeing him around too. Well, when you got drugs, it ain't. I know that. Y'all got drugs around those legal guns. They called possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. On the surface, it looked like T.I. was genuinely trying to warn his son that the path he was on would only lead to jail. But when Tiny heard about it, she wasn't impressed. In fact, she was furious at T.I. for putting their son's business out there. And it wasn't because she approved of King flashing guns or acting tough. She just felt T.I. was a few years too late. After all, King was only copying what he had seen his father do. But the part that finally made Tiny snap was King's baby mama drama. When T.I. went on a podcast and casually announced that he was going to be a grandfather again because King was having a child, Tiny couldn't believe her ears. To her, it sounded like T.I. was endorsing their son's reckless behavior, when in reality, the situation was anything but normal.
He just became a father, so I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
There were rumors that King's baby mama, Big Nana, was much older than him. Some even suggested she got with him just to secure a bag, and that King was too immature to see it. But King didn't care at all. He was overjoyed about the situation, proudly stepping into the role of a father. When their son was born in November 2024, King was over the moon. He fully embraced fatherhood, constantly posting and bragging about his baby.
A lot of people hit me up like, King, I know you tired, you ain't get no sleep, and the truth be told, before this little I ain't been getting no sleep, you know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle, lifestyle just lifing, you know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house. So
he even wrote a track called Dear Son, where he rapped about stepping up as a dad, captioning the post. November 5th, 8:09 a.m. Welcome King Jr. Time to take over. For a moment, it looked like King was actually ready to change. Like he was finally growing up and letting fatherhood teach him to be calmer. For Tiny, the best part was seeing King be a present father and correcting the mistakes his own dad had made when he was a baby. But of course, the timing couldn't have been worse. While King was online playing Proud Dad, his arrest video was still making the rounds, reminding everyone that he was far from out of trouble. Through it all, T.I. tried to be a supportive father, but he couldn't hide his disappointment for long. And for Tiny, that was unforgivable. She might have looked past the other issues, but the fact that T.I. was so ashamed of his son that he didn't even want to live under the same roof with him. That broke her heart completely. So when the divorce papers landed, it wasn't shocking at all. It was the final blow in a marriage that had been cracking for years. And Tiny? She's done. She's not hiding. She's not covering for him anymore. The only question now is, what will T.I. do next? Because if he stays silent the way he has with King, this family might already be beyond saving.